What's going on, guys? Welcome to this new video of the editing room. Today we're going to look at the speed graphs in After Effects. So without further ado, let's jump in. So the first thing I'm going to do is take a new composition, fairly standard 1920 by 1080, and I'm going to keep it to about 5 seconds. I think 5 should be enough. And I'm going to give it a grey sort of, yeah, background should be fine. Yep, let's do that. So now you have your composition. What I'm going to do is go into Eclipse, and I'm just going to draw a quick ellipse here, and I'm going to press and hold Shift so that I have a proper circle. There you go. Okay, so and just quickly I'm going to decrease the size, so reduce the scale a bit. I think that should be enough. Now, one thing you notice is that the anchor point is not inside the circle, it's outside. There's two ways of doing it, or a couple of ways of doing it in my opinion, but first is you can go to the pan behind tool, the anchor point here, and you can actually drag the anchor point wherever you want. In my opinion, the best way to do it is go to Edit, Preferences and Journal, and click on, when it loads up, center anchor point in new shape layers, and then click on OK. So what will happen is that if we want to draw a new circle, oops, so I'm gonna press and hold Shift. There you go. So it's right in the middle of this circle. Okay, so what we'll do is that I'm just going to delete that one, and I'm just going to work with this one. I think this should be better. And what will happen is, so at the moment this is a fairly basic circle, fairly basic composition. There's no animations. What we want to do is we want to animate this a bit. The way we want to do it is, obviously you will put a toggle on the position. You can do scale, you can do anchor point, you can do rotation or opacity, depends on what you want to achieve. But for this example, I'm just going to change the position of this circle from here, and when I go to maybe 1 second, I want to drag it right over there. Okay, or maybe just a bit more. Let's do it that way. Yeah. Okay. So now when I play it, it will be something like simple. Okay. Let's play it again. Okay. So fairly straightforward, fairly simple, and nothing too complicated just yet. The next thing we want to do is that we want to have a look at the graph. Okay. First thing what we will do is that we will select the position, and I will tell you in a minute why I'm doing this. And next we will click on the graph editor here. Okay. So this is our graph editor. Here basically what you're looking at is this is the speed of this object that is traveling from this point to that point in this amount of time. It's basically same as your kilometers per hour or miles per hour. So this is basically you can't actually see it here properly because I think my screen is not very big here, but this is pixels per second, basically about 1500 pixels per second. What you can also do is that if you don't see this, you can also enable it from here. So you come up here and show your value graph or speed graph. We are currently doing speed graph. In the next video we will go into looking at value graph as well. Okay. Now if this is not big enough for you, or you can't actually see the whole graph, what you can also do is that you just come here and click on fit all graphs to view, and that will basically you should be able to easily see the whole graph actually in this layout. Or you can also change the view, zoom in, zoom out from here as well, depending on what you're working with and what you want to see actually on your screen. Okay, so if I play it now, I'm just gonna decrease this a bit, and if I play it again, you will actually see what happens. So let's do that. Fairly straightforward. Okay, the next thing I want to do is let's just close this. I think that would be better if I close this, and I'm gonna put F9 easy ease on it. So what this will do is that it will start slowly. There you go. Okay, we know how easy ease works, so let's just have a look at the graph editor. It is a straightforward graph with us. It starts off quickly. It goes to the top, and it stabilizes, and then it starts to speed up a bit at the same rate. Okay, so what we can do now is, if I want to say I want to have it slow start but then speed up at the end, what we need to do is, if you click on this graph, you should be able to see these two yellow sort of handles or arms, if you like. What you can do is, if you click and hold this and drag it to the right, basically what we are doing is that we are making it a slow start, and then exponentially it's going to go up. If I want to increase it even more, what I will also do is that push this handlebar onto the right, drag and drop it, and I can always click on this so that I have a better view of what I'm working with. So we can even do that, and push it as much as you can or as much as you want, and I can probably push this even more as well to the right. Okay, that should be enough. So if I play it now, what will happen? It will have a slow start, and then it will speed up to the end. Okay, you can also add a motion blur. Come up here, and under the motion blur here, just click on that option. Okay, so if I manually check this, see that there's not much motion blur to it right now, but as it speeds up, there's a lot more motion blur added to it. Okay, and there you go. So let's play it. Okay, what I can also do is just make sure that you have this selected, otherwise this graph will not show. That was the reason why I selected clicked on P position, so that I could see the graph actually for this object. If I want to have a fast start, then I can do that as well, and a slow ending, I can do that as well. And also, just for your reference, you can move it up or down as well if you want. It just depends on what kind of animation you want to actually make. Oops. Okay, and I'm going to push that to as much as I can. So there you go. Let's play this. This is on here. Okay, the other thing I want to do is, or you can do, I just want to show you, is if I want to have a slow start, speed up in the middle, and then come back down, and slow towards the end as well, you can just basically bring these two handlebars here, and that should be it. So let's give it a try. Here you go. Okay, so there's a lot of animations, there's a lot of ways that you can actually play around with it. The main thing is that it gives you much more control over your animation, and it makes it more organic, more natural, if you like. Okay, and you can do different things with it. I'm just going to change this here as well. Now I'm doing really weird things with it, but there you go. Let's play it. There you go. Okay, so what we're doing is that we have inverted the animation, basically, the graph, and it kind of stops in the middle because the speed is actually 0, and then it starts to go back up. You can also add different objects to it. So if I want to add more objects, for example, I don't know, something like I'm gonna add a star to it. So I'll press on Shift and then I'll make a star, and I just want to change the color so that it looks a bit different. I don't know, something like blue, or yeah, this should be fine. So this is our star, and I want to animate this, so we will toggle the position, but actually this time I also want to toggle and animate the scale as well. So we will have the standard on this side, and when it gets to 1 second, I want to have let's just bring it here, something like that, and I want to have the scale to be twice the size actually, so that would do. Okay, so now when we play it, there you go. Let's delete this one so that we don't get confused. Okay, there we go, and we add motion blur to it as well, so it looks a bit more nice. There you go. Okay, and now what we can do is that you can do exactly the same thing with the graph editor, and what we will do is that I am going to click on this and then drag it down to 0, but also then push it to the right so that it has a slow start, but it moves as it approaches the end, it gets really fast. Okay, so I'm gonna add this just right to the bottom, something like that. Is that right? Yep. And I'm gonna push this handlebar to the right. Okay, so let's give this a try. There you go. So I hope you liked the video. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. Please give a comment as to what you want to see in the future videos. And also don't forget to share with your friends. And we will see you in the next video. Thank you. Bye-bye.